In simpler terms, the message is that Michael is specifically assigned to Israel, not to any other nation. This is because of God's promise to Abraham that his descendants would become a great nation and inherit the land of Canaan. God has indeed fulfilled this promise by restoring and blessing the nation of Israel. Over the years, Israel's population has grown significantly due to mass Jewish immigration. Throughout history, God has remained faithful to his promise to protect his people. As part of this protection, God has appointed Archangel Michael to watch over Israel, guiding them through every challenge and danger, and leading them back to a close relationship with God. Before we continue, please hit that like button so that more people can see this content. God bless you as you do so. It's clear that the last message discusses the activities of the terrorist organization ISIS. As of my last update in January 2022, ISIS, Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, is widely recognized as a terrorist organization responsible for numerous atrocities, including acts of violence, terrorism, and human rights abuses. They have targeted innocent civilians, engaged in widespread destruction, and sought to establish a radical Islamic caliphate in the regions they control. The described event involving the Israeli soldiers and the pillar of cloud on the border between Israel and ISIS is indeed remarkable. It illustrates the belief among many Israelis that God intervened to protect them from potential harm. The video footage of the incident, which went viral on social media, further reinforced this perception among the Israeli populace. The extraordinary events of Israel's Six-Day War serve as a testament to the unwavering protection provided to Israel by God. As the scriptures say, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep, indicating the constant vigilance of the angel assigned to protect Israel. Even though God's physical presence may not be visibly apparent, his strength and power are manifested through the actions of the Archangel. The significance of June 5th, the start of the Six-Day War, cannot be overstated, as it marked the fulfillment of God's ancient promises to Israel. Among these promises was the declaration of Jerusalem as the city where God chose to establish his presence. At the onset of the conflict, Jerusalem stood as a divided city, with Jordan in control of its eastern half following the War of Independence. This division barred Jews from accessing their holiest sites, such as the Western Wall and Temple Mount, which were under Jordanian jurisdiction. Despite Israel's victory in the War of Independence, the eastern portion of Jerusalem fell to the Arab League, leading to its annexation by Jordan. Under Jordanian rule, East Jerusalem deteriorated significantly, with the destruction of synagogues, Torah scrolls, and books in the Jewish quarter, and religious freedom was virtually non-existent. At this time, Palestinian Arabs identified themselves simply as Arabs, not Palestinians, and Jordan never designated Jerusalem as its own or the capital of Palestine. However, the tensions preceding the Six-Day War traced back to Jordan's annexation of East Jerusalem and the West Bank, which fueled frequent confrontations and ultimately contributed to the buildup of hostilities. Egypt, equipped with Soviet weaponry, exacerbated the situation by closing the Suez Canal to Israeli shipping, while Yasser Arafat's founding of the Palestinian Liberation Organization aimed at Israel's destruction added to the volatility. 3 Arab summits convened to strategize Israel's annihilation, and Syria intensified clashes by shelling Israeli civilians from the Golan Heights. In May, the situation escalated further as Egypt declared war on Israel, broadcasting ominous threats from Cairo. Egypt, joined by Syria, Jordan, and Iraq, with backing from Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Algeria, and Sudan, posed a formidable threat to the small Jewish nation. Facing overwhelming odds, the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, prepared for battle, observing a significant buildup of enemy troops and weaponry in the Sinai Desert. The Israelis, aware of their numerical disadvantage, even readied coffins in anticipation of defeat. Israel executed a bold preemptive strategy known as Operation Focus, relying on speed and secrecy to counter Egypt's formidable air force, the largest in the Middle East. Recognizing the need to neutralize the enemy's air power before it could take flight, Israeli military leaders launched a preemptive strike on June 5th, aiming to destroy Egyptian aircraft while they were still grounded. Pilots, extensively trained for such a mission, set Operation Focus in motion, marking one of the most successful air campaigns in military history. Throughout the conflict, the Israeli Air Force achieved remarkable success, decimating enemy planes while sustaining minimal losses of their own. Israel's territorial gains during the war included the capture of the Golan Heights from Syria, the Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, and Judea and Samaria, West Bank, along with Jerusalem's Old City and holy sites. previously under Jordanian control. The nation's size quadrupled as a result. Yet, beyond military prowess and courage, many attributed the victory to divine intervention. Witness accounts abound with stories of supernatural occurrences. Despite relentless airstrikes, Egyptian forces failed to communicate warnings to their units, allowing Israeli planes to strike without advance notice. Squadron members reported that aging aircraft operated flawlessly throughout the campaign, without a single malfunction. Remarkable instances of divine protection emerged on the battlefield. An enemy shell struck a munitions pile but failed to detonate, averting potential disaster. In one encounter, Israeli soldiers facing overwhelming odds found their adversaries inexplicably paralyzed with fear, surrendering without resistance. Even an Egyptian tank commander surrendered to a smaller Israeli force, citing a desert mirage that exaggerated the enemy's strength. Such events led many, including non-religious observers, to acknowledge the war's divine assistance. As Chaim Herzog, later president of Israel, succinctly stated, "The finger of God was evident in their victory." Despite the military odds stacked against them, Israel prevailed with what many saw as heavenly support. Prior to the Six-Day War, Jerusalem's mayor, Teddy Kollek, enlisted vocalist Naomi Shimmer to compose a song commemorating Jerusalem for the Israeli Song Festival on Independence Day. Shimmer agreed, creating Jerusalem of Gold, the first song dedicated to the city in years under Jordanian control. Following Israel's triumphs in the war, Shimmer seized the moment to release the song to the public. In 1977, Israel's capture of the West Bank and Jerusalem fulfilled God's ancient promise to King David, solidifying Jerusalem as the unified capital of Israel. This restoration of Jerusalem to its people illustrates God's miraculous intervention, a testament to his faithfulness. The events transpired during the Six-Day War, a time when many doubted Israel's ability to overcome its well-armed adversaries. However, God had different plans. With Archangel Michael guiding and safeguarding them, Israel emerged triumphant and reclaimed its historic capital. This victory underscores God's enduring love and protection for his people, akin to the pillar of cloud and fire that guided and shielded Israel in the wilderness. Even in contemporary times, God remains vigilant over Israel, ever prepared to deliver them from adversity. Before the Six-Day War, Jerusalem's mayor, Teddy Kollek, enlisted vocalist Naomi Shimmer to compose a song commemorating Jerusalem for the Israeli Song Festival on Independence Day. Shimmer agreed, creating Jerusalem of Gold, the first song dedicated to the city in years under Jordanian control. Following Israel's triumphs in the war, Shimmer seized the moment to release the song to the public. In 1977, Israel's capture of the West Bank and Jerusalem fulfilled God's ancient promise to King David, solidifying Jerusalem as the unified capital of Israel. This restoration of Jerusalem to its people illustrates God's miraculous intervention, a testament to his faithfulness. The events transpired during the Six-Day War, a time when many doubted Israel's ability to overcome its well-armed adversaries. However, God had different plans. With Archangel Michael guiding and safeguarding them, Israel emerged triumphant and reclaimed its historic capital. This victory underscores God's enduring love and protection for his people, akin to the pillar of cloud and fire that guided and shielded Israel in the wilderness. In the lead-up to the conflict, tensions were high as neighboring Arab nations, emboldened by their collective strength, threatened Israel's existence. Yet, against overwhelming odds, Israel launched Operation Focus, a daring preemptive strike that crippled Egypt's formidable air force. This strategic move, combined with Israel's military prowess and divine intervention, paved the way for a decisive victory. Throughout the war, countless accounts of divine intervention and miraculous occurrences bolstered Israel's resolve. From unexplained malfunctions in enemy aircraft to inexplicable freezes in combat, these incidents were attributed to God's protective hand over his chosen people. The significance of the Six-Day War extends beyond military triumph to a spiritual awakening. It marked a turning point in Israel's history, reaffirming God's covenant with his people and fulfilling ancient prophecies. The reunification of Jerusalem, once a divided city under foreign occupation, symbolized Israel's resilience and God's unwavering promise to protect and bless his chosen nation. Even today, the legacy of the Six-Day War serves as a reminder of God's faithfulness and the miraculous power that accompanies his divine providence. As Israel continues to navigate challenges and threats in the modern era, its people draw strength from the enduring lessons of this historic conflict and the steadfast belief in God's enduring protection. The story of the Six-Day War and the miraculous events surrounding it continue to inspire awe and reflection. As tensions escalated in the lead-up to the conflict, Israel found itself surrounded by hostile neighbors bent on its destruction. Against this backdrop of impending war, the Israeli people turned to their faith and sought divine intervention. In the face of overwhelming odds, Israel's military leaders devised a bold and audacious plan, known as Operation Focus, to preemptively strike at the heart of their adversaries' defenses. With meticulous planning and unwavering resolve, Israeli pilots executed precision airstrikes that crippled the enemy's air force and paved the way for a swift and decisive victory. Yet, amidst the chaos and carnage of war, stories of divine intervention emerged, offering glimpses of God's guiding hand at work. From inexplicable malfunctions in enemy weaponry to unexplained moments of hesitation among adversaries, these supernatural occurrences left an indelible mark on those who witnessed them. One such account tells of Israeli soldiers who, outnumbered and outgunned, found themselves facing certain death on the battlefield. In a moment of desperation, they cried out to God for deliverance, and in a miraculous turn of events, their enemies inexplicably retreated, sparing their lives and granting them victory against all odds. The reunification of Jerusalem, Israel's ancient and sacred capital, stands as a testament to God's faithfulness and His promise to His people. As Israeli forces liberated the city from decades of foreign occupation, the world witnessed a modern-day miracle unfold before their eyes, a city reunited under Israeli sovereignty after centuries of division and strife. Today, the legacy of the Six-Day War serves as a source of inspiration and hope for the Israeli people and people of faith around the world. It is a reminder that even in the darkest hours, God's light shines brightest, guiding His people through the storms of adversity and leading them to victory against all odds. As we reflect on the miraculous events of the Six-Day War, may we be reminded of the enduring power of faith and the promise of divine protection. Just as God watched over His people in ancient times, so too does He watch over them today, guiding them with His wisdom and protecting them with His mighty hand. In the aftermath of the Six-Day War, stories of divine intervention spread like wildfire among the Israeli people, reinforcing their belief in God's providence and protection. One particularly poignant account tells of a squadron of Israeli fighter jets that encountered a sudden and inexplicable fog while on a crucial bombing mission deep behind enemy lines. As the pilots struggled to navigate through the dense mist, they feared that they had lost their way and were doomed to failure. However, just as they were about to abort the mission, the fog miraculously lifted, revealing the enemy target in clear view. With renewed determination and a sense of divine guidance, the pilots successfully carried out their mission, dealing a devastating blow to the enemy's strategic assets. Another remarkable tale from the war tells of a group of Israeli paratroopers who found themselves surrounded and outnumbered by enemy forces during a fierce battle for control of a strategic hill. With their ammunition running low and their situation growing increasingly dire, the soldiers turned to prayer, calling upon God to deliver them from certain death. In a miraculous turn of events, a sudden and violent sandstorm swept across the battlefield, engulfing the enemy forces in a blinding haze and allowing the Israeli troops to launch a daring counterattack. Against all odds, they emerged victorious, their faith in God's protection reaffirmed in the most dramatic fashion. As word of these miraculous events spread throughout Israel, they served to unite the nation in a profound sense of gratitude and awe. From the highest echelons of government to the humblest of citizens, there was a widespread acknowledgement that Israel's victory in the Six-Day War was nothing short of a divine blessing. For many, it was a humbling reminder that, in times of greatest need, God's love and protection are ever present, guiding His people through the darkest of nights and leading them to the dawn of a new day. The legacy of the Six-Day War continues to inspire generations of Israelis to this day, serving as a powerful testament to the enduring bond between God and His chosen people. As they look back on the events of those fateful 6 days, they are reminded that, no matter the challenges they may face, they do not walk alone. With God as their protector and guide, they can face the future with confidence and courage, knowing that His hand is always upon them, guiding them safely through the storms of life. One remarkable lesson from the description of the Six-Day War and the accounts of divine intervention is the enduring power of faith and the belief in a higher purpose. Despite facing seemingly insurmountable odds and overwhelming enemies, the Israeli people held fast to their trust in God's protection and guidance. Their unwavering faith sustained them through the darkest moments of the conflict and ultimately led to their miraculous victory. This serves as a powerful reminder that, even in the midst of adversity, faith can provide strength, courage, and hope. It teaches us that no matter how dire our circumstances may appear, there is always room for divine intervention and the possibility of a miraculous outcome. By trusting in God and remaining steadfast in our beliefs, we can overcome obstacles that seem impossible to conquer on our own. Furthermore, the stories of divine intervention during the 6th day will highlight the importance of recognizing and acknowledging the hand of God in our lives. They remind us to be grateful for His blessings and to never lose sight of His presence, even in times of turmoil and uncertainty. This lesson encourages us to cultivate a deeper spiritual awareness and to look for signs of God's guidance and protection in our own lives. Overall, the remarkable lesson from this description is that faith, perseverance, and gratitude are powerful forces that can lead us through the most challenging of times and bring about extraordinary outcomes. This teaches us the importance of solidarity and cooperation in achieving common goals, especially during times of crisis. It underscores the idea that when individuals and communities unite behind a shared purpose, they become stronger and more resilient in the face of challenges. The Israeli victory in the 6th day war serves as a testament to the power of unity and the ability of a determined group of people to overcome seemingly impossible obstacles. Furthermore, the accounts of divine intervention in the war highlight the belief in a higher power and the role of faith in guiding and sustaining individuals during difficult times. This teaches us the importance of spiritual resilience and the need to draw strength from our beliefs and values, even in the most trying circumstances. Overall, the lessons from the 6th day war remind us of the transformative power of unity, determination, and faith in overcoming adversity and achieving remarkable victories. They inspire us to remain steadfast in our convictions, support one another in times of need, and trust in the guidance of a higher power. This highlights the faith and trust that many people place in the belief that God watches over and protects His people. It serves as a reminder of the power of prayer and the belief in a higher purpose, even in the midst of conflict and uncertainty. Moreover, the story emphasizes the importance of historical and cultural identity. For Israel, the reclamation of Jerusalem and other historic sites during the 6th day war symbolized the restoration of their ancient heritage and the fulfillment of biblical prophecies. This underscores the deep connection between faith, history, and national identity. It shows how historical events can hold profound significance for a people and shape their sense of self and belonging. Overall, the story of the 6th day war and its perceived miracles offer lessons about faith, resilience, and the enduring bond between a people and their land. They inspire reflection on the role of divine providence in human affairs and the power of faith to sustain and guide individuals and nations through challenging times.